Hello everyone, Dividend Fire here. And in this video we're going to discuss the latest changes on MPW, the latest release regarding to the update MPW release about Steward Healthcare, its largest tenant, and all the volatility that it caused in the past few days. They released this information on the January 4th, and Friday, January 5th, the stock fell 30%. And even now, we see the value, I'm recording the video now, it's Monday already, and the stock price is still really down. So we're going to discuss all this information released by MPW. We're also going to discuss about the future of hospitals, so we know how this sector, what is the trend for the sector in the years following, and take all these information into consideration so we can do analysis to understand how likely is for a dividend cut to happen. If the dividend cut happens, how much could be the impact. And just before we start, if you value this type of video, please click the like button, support the channel, and subscribe to the channel to follow the next videos. So just for starter, just overview, Medical Properties Trust is a REIT that invests in properties on the healthcare sector, more specifically medical properties, as the name says, and is a large REIT on the sector. Have suffered a dividend cut recently, and now it's under a threat of a second dividend cut. Before the previous dividend cut, there were 10 years without any dividend cut, 10 years increasing the dividend, but then the dividend cut came, and now we are under threat a second dividend cut, and that's what we will discuss in the video. As I mentioned previously, the company released new information about their tenant that is struggling to pay the rent, and the stock fell a lot, down 30%. Just on last Friday, and here's the release, and we're going to discuss this right now. So let's pinpoint first the cons on this release. One of the worst things was that they just confirmed that this tenant, Steward, is struggling to pay the rent, is struggling to pay. It will continue struggling and all its obligations regarding to MPW. But also, Medical Property Trust agreed to fund a new 60 million loan to this tenant, Steward. So not enough there being a bad tenant struggling to pay MPW, and also another loan will be issued to them. So this just by looks a very bad move, and that's what the market thought, and that's why the stock so down. But I want to discuss a bit further that by the end of the video after we do some analysis, okay? But good to keep this in mind as well. The only good point, the non-steward portfolio continues to generate robust revenue. So what they're saying is like, okay, steward is struggling, but the revenue that's not related to steward is still very strong. We'll discover if that's the facts, how strong is this revenue non related to steward when we see the Q4 results. Till there, all we can do is speculate, but take as MPW's word. And saying that all this struggle in MPW is not that MPW is not paying nothing at all. They have paid some partially repayments, but yeah, they're struggling big time, and it's not a small amount. They just said like when they measure the value that's payment missed by the end of December 31st, just that is 50 million, and there's more money on the table as well. And now MPW make another 60 million loans for them, for a tenant that's struggling to pay. So that's the picture. That's why stock's going down so much. But there's also another very important information they gave us here that will help us to do some further calculations about the safety of the dividend, is that did this metric here. They gave us the FFO. If you consider remove all the contributions from steward related investments, if you remove the steward's contribution from the table, all the money received from steward, this would remove from the AFFO 6-7 millions, or if you want to talk about diluted per share, would you reduce from the AFFO 11 cents. And this we're going to use on our calculations. Also, what we're going to use in our calculations is the adjusted funds from operation, the AFFO of the Q3, so the latest FFO per share, AFFO per share that we have. This will help us in our calculation. So I have this prepared so we can discuss with the numbers in a better, clear picture. Just before I continue the calculation so you can understand better the dividend cut risk, like the video if you like the video so far. If this information has been valuable for you, please subscribe to the channel. So let's use here FFO per share, 30 cents. And non-steward FFO per share would be 19 cents. So what I did here, I got the AFFO per share that we got from Q3, and I reduced the 11 cents that not considering steward's distributions. So we can be a bit safer, like, oh, okay, steward is struggling. Let's cut steward from the equation and see which numbers we have. This would decrease the FFO per share by 36%, nearly 37%. And let's discuss about the dividends here. Let's say I have the AFFO payout ratio here, so the dividends paid from the AFFO, from the funds from operation. So if you use the metric of AFFO for this, to do this calculation, we get an AFFO payout ratio of 50%, shows the dividends is well covered. And on the current price, this video is being recorded on the Monday 18th of January. So would be the current price, we have around the 17% forward dividend yield here. So let's say the decrease of AFFO of non-steward would be a decrease of 36%. So if we decrease the dividend by the same amount, we'll get a dividend nearly at 10 cents a share per quarter, would give us a dividend yield, a forward dividend yield of nearly 11% in the current prices. So we talk about here, even if a dividend cut of 36%, let's say steward is struggling a lot, is not going to pay at all. Let's cut it from the equation. The steward is not paying anymore. Let's cut the same that was decreased from the FFO per share. Let's reduce from the dividend. If MPW decide to do that, it still would be interesting dividend yield forward for MPW and the current price. So could be some potential here, could be some opportunity, but I don't want you blindly follow this information. Please do your own research, because MPW is a more riskier investment. It's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of drama. It's still a lot of headwinds ahead. I want to show some future data here regarding to the hospitals, so you can have a broader picture and expectation how the future can be for MPW, or not just for MPW, but for the hospital industry in general. Be cautious, be careful. If you can't take much volatility, you need stomach for turn around such a MPW. Okay, just have this in mind. But what I can see here is, like, even with non-steward struggle, MPW still can be a good opportunity. No dividend cuts happen, we still get here an AFFO payout ratio of down 8%. Would still not be too bad. So there is also a chance, it's not granted that they will do a dividend cut. There is a chance that they won't, because it's possible there the AFFO payout ratio be even below 100%, actually below 8%. So the dividend could be covered. It's not that necessary for them to cut. But it's good to have in mind that it's possible. Yes, it's possible they cut. I thought they didn't need to cut the first time, and they still did cut because they want more money balance sheet. Um, and by the fact, maybe MPW didn't need to release this update in Steward. We have Q4 results coming right in February next month. So maybe they just could disclose all this information on February. So this makes me think, okay, it's nice that they give updates. I like this. It's good for the shareholder, those updates. But it could be they're already preparing the shareholder for some bad news. So they already give you some bad news. Look, Stewart is struggling. So to see the reaction of the market and then prepare the market for a dividend cut coming in the sequence. Could be that. That's just my opinion. It's just a speculation here. The dividend cut can happen, or there is, I just show you here that actually could just not happen at all, like is a possibility. If the dividend cut doesn't happen, I can see the stock price just going up, being adjusted by expectations the market. But the market believes that the dividend cut will happen, and I think it's very likely to happen as well. I would expect there probably some around this number here, some around 36% dividend cut. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm preparing myself for the worst. Or they could also cut the dividend by half. Last time they cut the dividend 50%. If they decide to cut the dividend again, could it be possible that they would cut again 50%? And even in this scenario, is still on the current prices, you kind of would still have a higher dividend yield. I can see this opportunity for who is buying right now, but I will give my overall opinion by the end of the video. I have more information to share here still. So we are talking about this data, but dividend yield alone is not all that matters. We need to know, okay, in the future, we had a dividend cut. Maybe we'll have a second one. After two dividend cuts, it's still worth investing in the company. My opinion on that is I was so disappointed with first dividend cut. I don't invest in the company expecting dividend cuts, so I was disappointed. I have to admit that. Second dividend cut would be goddamn ugly. Second dividend cut, I wouldn't like that at all. Feels bad, feels really bad seeing this happen again, but I still see opportunity. So let's talk about some metrics here so you understand what's the future for the hospital sector from this healthcare industry, what lies ahead. So I have some data here from Precedence Research. On their research, they say that the global hospital service market was valued by over 10 trillions in 2021 and is expected to reach around nearly 20 trillions by 2030. And this would be nearly doubled. When you see the figures from 2023, we had here a market size for the hospital service market of over 12 trillion. And they have expectation here by 2030 to achieve nearly the double. And they break it down this information here, like by 2030 they expect nearly 20 trillion and market size. This gives a growth rate, a CAGR of nearly 9% from 2022 to 2030. And this is talking about the global scale, but the largest market that's expecting growth is North America. So US is to be expected the largest market that will be impacted by all this demand. So the forecast looks positive for the hospital sector after suffering a lot on the pandemic. Seems like that the forecast is positive for the hospital sector, and MPW could do well with that, with the tenants getting stronger. Maybe even Steward could get in better health, better shape. And at the first point when we see Steward Healthcare struggling so much, and MPW still insists to help them and making the loan for them of 60 million. That's what might be in the MPW's management. They see potential on that, so maybe they have expectation that the hospitals are going to do better. So I think they're willing to help Stewart because they believe that they can turn this around. I don't think they're doing this blindly. They are in this business for so long. They understand this business better than anyone else. So they might be right, and we'll discover that just in the long run. Just keep that in mind. The future is uncertain. So the market don't believe in MPW at all. If you MPW turn this around, who is investing in MPW probably will do big time. But and if the market is right and this MPW's move, this belief and Stewart, and if more tenant, not only Stewart's not recovering, but other tenants start struggling, the business go downhill. So it's good to have that in mind before you decide to invest. But just to add it up as well, I have more data here. A different data source is good to use as well. So this data from Statista analysis show a brighter future for hospitals. So the project revenue in the hospitals market worldwide is expected to reach 4 trillions in 2024. This is a bit closer data. The other data we saw forecast till 2030, and here they are forecasting just till 2028. So just by 2024, like the year we are here already expecting to reach 4 trillion in 2024 hospital revenue. And it's anticipated that revenue will exhibit an annual growth rate from 2024 to 2028 of 3.42%, resulting in a market volume of nearly 5 trillions by 2028. So more growth regarding to hospitals revenue here. And again, when compared globally, in the United States is expected to generate the highest revenue amounting around 1.5 billion in 2024. So seems like the forecast for hospitals revenue and hospital service revenue is being positive from the years following, and this is speaking worldwide, and especially US seems to be one the benefiting the most of this trend, this positive trend. So probably MPW, that's their business. Probably they are down to these metrics. Probably they are being hard on this analysis, and that's I believe that's why they believe so much, and they are trying to help their tenants to get in shape because they are believing in the future of hospitals. I do also believe in future hospitals, but let's just hope the data is showing here that the hospitals probably do well. Let's hope, and I hope that the hospitals under MPW umbrella will do well as well. So looking into those metrics there, these future forecasts, so we can see even with a dividend cut of 50%, for the current dividend yield, we still have a very good yield. I just show you guys that there's a very good forecast for the hospitals in the following years. MPW is also highly leveraged, so they are suffering a lot with the high debt. And if the dividend cuts come, the interest rates start coming down, this might help release the pressure a little bit. On the other hand, if the interest rates keep going higher, which probably won't happen, but if it happens, will be another trouble. So that's the information I have to share with you guys, and please leave in the comments what you think after seeing all this data, all this information. Please leave in your thoughts below, leave in your thoughts in the comments. And I just want to share as well, just that I had from MPW, I had 222 shares. That was my position in MPW, 222 shares. And I just added more 295 shares after seeing these shares went down so much on Friday. I took advantage of that, and for me, I saw opportunity, but that's myself. Please do your own research. take your own decision. That was me. I added more, which now leaves me with the total of 517 shares. That's the total of shares I have now of MPW. And I would say now I'm stopping here with the MPW. Because if the MPW turn around, I will benefit a lot from that. I'll get some good money from this move, and I'll be getting really nice dividends with this move if the things turns around for MPW. And if I'm wrong with MPW, I don't want to expose myself more than I'm already exposed. So that's I just want to say also in video here, make public, and just to make accountable. I'm stopping here with MPW. That's where my risk tolerance with MPW goes. I'm stopping here because if they do the second dividend cut, I'm not invest any more money in MPW. I'm just leaving it go. I won't be buying every time they do a dividend cut. So if they do the second dividend cut, I'll just keep what I have. This 517, we'll just keep for the future till I see they're turning around their business throughout the years. And if they don't cut the dividend, so I imagine the stock price go high way a lot. So I also won't buy more because I'll be happy with my current yield on cost, and I won't be adding more shares if the share is going way higher than I'm sitting on right now. So that's for you guys my updates on MPW, taking consideration the latest information we have. I have in the channel videos about MPW, so if you want to know more my opinion about MPW, I have other 2 videos that I recorded previously about MPW. So that's why this video I focus more on the latest news, more on the current data, and more on the current information, the current fear of people have on MPW. So that's what's the focus of this video. But if you want to see a bit more information, you can check it out these other older videos that I have here, or simply leave a comment below, leave a comment, and I would like to see your guys' opinion as well, what your guys' move, what your guys thought. Okay, just before I leave, please subscribe to the channel to support this journey, to support I share all my moves, all my progress on my dividend portfolio. I'm seeking to retire as early as possible, so I'm looking good opportunities in the market to apply my money so I can retire as early as possible. I'm being very aggressive for this goal, and every month I'm coming here bringing updates about my portfolio, and I'm being very clear about what I'm doing. So check it out, the previous videos if you're new to the channel. See you next video. Bye bye.